Hi, my name is Charmaine and welcome to Color. When I first started being in business 28 years ago, I named my own little company In Living Colors, and that was before there was a television show. It's because color is just all around us. It creates moods. It can actually make saliva in our mouth to be surrounded with certain colors. It makes us peaceful, it makes us agitated, makes us move faster. Color is so amazing. And so I wanted to share with you my best tips to help you know how to choose color, what colors are best to bring out everything that's wonderful about you and everything that surrounds you. So let's start with the science part of color, which is all colors fall into two categories we call cool or warm colors. And to illustrate this, this is our Beauty Control's color wheel. The blue side, of course, represents the cool versions of color, and the yellow represents warm. So when you think of cool or warm colors, I want you to know that all the colors anywhere, the thousands of colors that have an identity, name, it's named a certain color. It's a hue of a color and has a certain name because some paint companies name the same color one name versus another paint color company that names theirs a different one. The same thing for cosmetic companies. So, and then all through the decades, all the color industry comes out with brings back the same color that's hot this year and in trend, and they'll name it something different. So what we named certain colors of green in the 60s and 70s, it's a different color green, even though it's the same in another decade. So here's the other thing to know. So all colors fall, there's either a warm or cool version of a color. And remember when we were in kindergarten or elementary school, we learned the primary colors, that there were 3 primary colors, and what were they? Red, yellow, and blue. And for those 3 colors, all other colors were made, the secondary colors that were made from those 3, and the tertiaries that were made from that secondary color. So it makes, and then it just keeps branching out. But I want you to think of color when we began talking about it like a paint can of color. So if we had 2 paint cans and we had the primary red and we poured a little bit of yellow paint into it, that primary red would become more orangey red and it would fall onto the warm side of the color wheel. If we had the primary red and we added a little bit more blue paint and stirred it up, we'd make it more of a blue red, taking it more into the even cooler side of red. So Beauty Control has made this color wheel, and it's so there's so many different ways we've had a color reference to go shopping with. We used to have color swatches and people would get confused thinking that they needed to match the color. But color is so much more than that. And color analysis gives you freedom. It doesn't restrain or constrain you. So what I want you to see is that if you haven't had a chance to go on eBeauty on either beautynet.com or beautypage.com at Beauty Control, one of Beauty Control's sites, do that. And I want you to take the quiz and answer the questions to have your colors done online. But I want to show you a little bit more than that today, because I want to show you how to use this color wheel. Now, the color, because the eye doesn't have memory of color, it's hard to close your eyes, see a color and close your eyes and then point it out in amongst all these hundreds more sitting in front of you and identify it exactly. And because of that, depending also on the light that you happen to be in, is it a room that has more warm lighting or more cool lighting? The way that the light reflects off the color in that room to the color that you're looking at, and then there's different fabrics too, it reflects differently each time. So when you have something that gives you an identity, a base to work with, then your eye can see it better and understand it better. So for example, this is the cool side of the color wheel here. And you can see on the cool side that there's the true reds, and then there's the rosy versions that start coming off of it, into the purpley tones, into the blue tones, into the green. It's not meant to match any one color. Then this is the warm version of the same thing we saw on the other side. These are the orange reds moving into the peaches and the golden, and then the very yellow, and then the greens that are much more yellowy, also in the khaki tones, and then the blue greens, and depending on how much blue or how much green can fall on either side, because that's a dividing line. So let me show you. If I hold up this orange towel to this side of the color, this color wheel, I can see that, those two just don't blend. But when I flip it over, even though it doesn't match any one thing, these are all tested to be warm-based colors. So when I hold this up, it looks better here than here. So you've got both sides to work from. But so, if this is the cool side of the color wheel, and this is up against it, is it a cool or warm color? And this makes it a warm color. So orange actually is one of the colors that if you had it in a paint can and you added blue paint to it, we could no longer identify it as the color orange. So orange and the color magenta become the only exceptions to the cool and warm version of all colors. In fact, look at how you can see just what I might be if you hold up magenta, and look at my teeth, and look at my skin, and I hold up orange. Ew. Start getting yellowy. My teeth are not as bright there as they are here. Just those two colors alone can give you the understanding that hair and skin and eyes and teeth all are harmonious to each other within each person. And depending on our genetic background that we were born in with our families, the dominance of one or the other and the way the genes pooled together, then that will make us all in all more predominantly a cool person or a warm person. And then how you dress and where you put the color on you will be, if you base it on that, you're going to bring out everything that is wonderful for you. So now watch how even two subtle colors, you would think, oh, these don't even have hardly any color at all. Now look at the difference between a yellowy beige and a white. And with cool people, when you wear, a cool person wears a warm color so up to the most impacting part of their image, and it's not a good color for them, they become more sallow, yellowy. They look more. Sometimes there's almost like a yellowy streak across their mouth, underneath their thinner tissue areas of their face, under their eyes, and everything that you don't like about how you pick at yourself. Everything seems to be standing out when you're wearing colors that are not harmonious to you and the gifts that God gave you. So let me show you a couple other things to show you the comparison of the cools and warms. This is a cool, more chocolate brown, more black brown. There's more coolness in this brown. So it's not that I can't wear brown maybe, but which version? The black brown or the yellowy brown? So in each, like I said, each color, then you've got the cool or warm version. When you go into the pink tones, the pinky peach, peachy pink, or the pinky pink, or the blue pink. So look at the difference between a peach, which a lot of people think is a real forgiving color, but look at how yellow I get with that color up against me versus a very baby, this is not even my best, but a very baby pink color, which is a better color than the peach. Okay? Now, so there's cool and warm, and then we have the intensity of color. Some people, when we're younger, start out as towheads with real pale blue eyes and pale skin, and as they age, they start getting into more of an ash blonde or ash brown, and so they've got light to medium in color. And then there's some that start in medium, and they start, then their coloring goes medium to dark. And so that's what we call, that's the artistic part of color, is how much color in your undertone is best for you. And it's based on the frame of you, meaning your hair, your brows, and your eyes, the intensity. On a scale of 1 to 10, are you light to medium or medium to dark? And let me show you what I mean by frame. So I'm going to take an empty frame and say, like, right here is the most impacting part of where you would put colors that were the best for you, because this is your image. This is what people see when we see one another. This is the first part people see. So you've got your face, the skin, the way, your hair, your makeup, and the harmony that you see here. So when we're doing color, you want to wear your colors that are your very, very best in the frame area. And so you want to play that up. So if you have colors that you love, but they don't love you, then you want to wear them somewhere else on your body, or have them maybe in a pattern. Look at this pattern. I love this sweater. I have a tendency to wear black a lot. Today I decided I'm going to wear purple. And hopefully it looks purple to you on your side. But look at this sweater. It's got a combination of warms and cools together. The base is white. There's some black in there. There's orange, which by itself wouldn't be my best. The hot pink would be great. The black would be great. The white would be. But when I wear a black dress, like I do a lot, many versions of it, then I put on this sweater and it just makes it alive. And then I can accessorize and bring out more color. Maybe I want to be a hot pink girl instead of wearing my black earrings that day. And I want to play up all my favorite hot pink. Or maybe I want to play, you can accent it. So this sweater would be just a great type of sweater to wear, to just make just the most basic colors, most basic dress just come alive. And that's what's fun about color. So you've got, again, the cool and the warm, and then the medium, light to medium in intensity, and medium to intense. So in my coloring, I've got my hair is intense, my brows are intense, and my eyes, they have depth to them. But there are people, so on a scale of 1 to 10, depending on who's in the room when we're numbering all the people in the intensity of color, I probably on some days would be a 7, some days I would be an 8, and just depends. But usually my hair is not jet black, and so it's, I could be, but I'm intense. I'm not light to medium, I'm medium to dark. Now, when you're trying to decide then, once you know that you're cool, and you know that you want to wear colors that harmonize with this side, like this dress. So does it look better here, or does it look more harmonious here? And of course, this is the cool side, so my dress is a cool color. And so now if the colors I wear around my face make that big of an impact, let me show you some with intensity. So then I would go to, now I'm shopping and I'm looking and I'm going to spend a good amount. It's going to be a very special occasion. So that's where I want to spend my most amount of money on things. If I'm going to buy something that is quality and I want it to last and I want versatility, I want to extend my dollar, like my basic, my dress coats, or even my jacket coat, a sporty coat, something I'm going to wear frequently, my shoes, how I decide how much money I'm willing to spend on it is how versatile, how many times am I going to wear it? Is it a special occasion that needs to be very special, at which time I would want it to be my very best favorite color. And I also would want it to be my best cut that shows off everything that was working for me in my shape. And I want it to be so my cut, my color, and my style, which is my personality. Because I don't want to be fussing going, oh, why did I buy this? It's not me. So your image is composed of those kind of pieces: color, style, and cut of clothing for your body type. So let me share with you a couple intense things like that we can really goof up on. Look at this. This is a rust. Okay. Now its cool version of a color that's similar is burgundy. So rust versus burgundy. Again, you see each color has its cool and warm version. So I want you to see that. Now also, let's say in the burgundy, this is the color burgundy. Now, if it was a can of paint and I added some white paint to it, it would fade and it could almost get to what we call mauve. Now, on my coloring, when I wear the paled version of burgundy, close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. I'm going to pull this color up. Now, open. What becomes what you see first? Is it the color or me? Close your eyes and open. You go to the color. Now close your eyes again and open. And with the burgundy, everything kind of, it's like it all comes at you equally. So it's balanced. And so it's, you framed the picture like this. In the picture, it's a balance. The top and the bottom and the sides are equal in what we call the intensity. So if you're a pale or blonde person, then you would then look better in the medium, because the dark would take the light, and then the dark you'd see that person first. Now that doesn't mean either one of us can't reverse what we do. If I wanted to wear this color, how I would play it up so that I don't become lost is I'd wear a jacket or a sweater or a scarf to balance the color. Maybe I'd punch it with some accessories that broke up the color so it just didn't go and wash me out. So that's really fun. We call this the blink test. This is fun. So once you know you got the color you're looking for, the cut style work for you too, then you're going to close your eyes and open and do the blink test. When you're shopping, when you're at the in front of the mirror at the mall, you close your eyes and you open. So what that does is it clears the mind, gets out of the thinking mode, and lets the eyes see the artistic part. I love how powerful this can be. Cool and warm, intense, and remember, here's the other thing. When we're talking about warm people, you know, you could almost see a natural redhead or strawberry blonde to the root come in a room. Remember, you know, when you think about Julianne Moore, the actress, you know, all of the pieces that go together, her hair is her natural coloring, and her brows go with that. And then all, you know, and if she has any hair on her arms, and the puddling of her freckles. It's not to say that anyone who has freckles is a warm person, but I'm talking about when you're doing your color testing on the color analysis online, you want to say the color that is in all the natural as it's coming out of your the roots of your hair, you know, not when you change the color of your hair, but at the growth part of what your hair is. And that, because you want to decide, you want to know according to the way the hair is. Some of you who maybe highlighted your hair, changed your hair color, are saying, well, but shouldn't I be wearing the things that go according to the hair that I have? Well, first you want to find out what you really are. What's your natural coloring, your natural color analysis, with how that comes together. And from there, you might highlight your hair a little differently. If I had red hair, dyed red hair right now, and I didn't change my eyebrow color, it's not just about the eyebrows, but it's the way the skin and my teeth and everything play upon it. You saw that with just a little piece of fabric. How about the color of your hair? So, in fact, warm people, they have the gene that determines a redhead has got what we call a receding gene. It actually can skip generations. Sometimes you'll see people at the mall or somewhere where you are, and there's a little redhead baby, and the parents are not redheads, and you'll find out that it was the grandparent or great-grandparent who had the red hair, because it's not the dominant gene. You know, my coloring and other heritages that have more of a dominant genetic composition can dominate someone's coloring. So that's fun to know too. Now, I want to show you with some lipstick, because let me just give me a second here. Let me pull my lipsticks. And I'm going to show you if the colors around you make that big of a difference. Look at This is called honey. Now I love the color of honey, but does the color of honey do anything for me? Look at the yellowing of my teeth. It just isn't maybe the best when you compare it to, watch, a different color. So this is a warm, it's a honey. I'd probably change my nail polish. And let's come back and change honey. And let's bring out fire and ice. So when you want to accent everything that's wonderful and your natural pigmentation, now fire and ice. Everything in your pigmentation that were your gifts that you came with are accented better on one predominant side of the color wheel or the other. You might even have, like, you know, maybe some things that you could even cheat better than someone else, but you will always look predominantly better on one side or the other. If you've got that gift, for me, I can't cheat. I can't stand next to that color and not have it be my best. So it's all about looking and feeling your most confident. And of course, everything that you buy, then just you know, the basics that need to go together all the time. You can splash it with fun color. Then trend comes into view, right? Trend is what's happening and hot, whatever the, you know, the fashion industry says, this is what's happening now. And that doesn't mean you're restricted. It just means that when you want to, you've got your classics, the ones that you can count on. If you're maybe a blonde and yours, you love off-white. And even the off-white is really important. If you're a strawberry blonde, your off-white can be much more creamy and yellowy. But if you're a blonde that has a blonde ash with baby blue eyes and cool skin, the whole cool combination, maybe yours would be what we call taupe. It's got a little bit more gray beige into it, and that's such an elegant color on that kind of coloring, the paler versions. And then you splash it with either peach, if you are a warm person, and maybe pinks of some kind if you're a cool person. Color is so much fun, and it's just amazing, alive with color. What's so neat about Color with Beauty Control is we take that all in consideration. There even the palettes come together, and it's not boring to have it be that way. Again, you can highlight with maybe I might be able to take a little gold and splash a gold shadow there on my eye and punch it if that's what's hot and happening. And that's trend. But when you want to bring the best of you out, you're going to go to the classics that work best for your natural coloring, the cools or the warms, and then the vivid and intense or the pale, medium to pale. And then watch it all come together. You will have so much fun. It's magical. It's life-changing, actually. When I used to wear colors and I didn't know, 50% of the time kind of you have an instinct, and the other 50% are sometimes chosen because something was on sale and it was too good to resist, or it was trendy and you thought, oh, I should do it. I want to just change what I'm doing. And that's fun too. And those are the things you don't spend as much money on. Maybe you do get them on sale, but when you know what you're doing, you can take that outfit, that thing, and just make it even more special because you understand color. So take the time, do your color, and then come in and let's do your color makeup all coordinated for you, and then play with color scarves and things and see how magical it is when it's just you're alive in living colors. Thank you for taking the time.